The shuttle was flooded with paint during the crash. Even the service center wouldn't be able to clean it from the inside. It's impossible to repair it. The paint itself also has no value after freezing. It's probably the owner of the shuttle with paint. He was engaged in illegal dumping during the crash, judging by the traces of paint on his hands and a huge hose stuck to his face. The safe is private property, and the Global Funeral Agency is indifferent to the fact of its opening. The BREATHEDGE Global Funeral Agency. We care about your reputation. Unknown substance with a suspicious name. The evidence is collected. The investigation is successfully completed. It is obvious that the victim was poisoned by a Novichok chemical weapon for treason. This is confirmed by the cipher from a note that the female agent lost at the scene of the crime. Some special agency clearly had a hand in this. I don't even know if he was either trying to plug the potato into the generator or power the generator from the potato. A small airlock that lets the liner's workers go into outer space. What a strange place, but maybe we can find something useful here. Corridors for staff members in the business class can cause claustrophobia, although they are extremely convenient and compact. It's an extremely unsafe place. I can't even use my main systems, only the built-in processor, which is perfectly protected from power surges, but is not able to count to 10 without errors. This is an energy core of the BREATHEDGE company. I don't know who transported such technologies on the liner and for what purpose it was done, but now it's easy to explain the presence of electromagnetic anomalies. By the way, I don't recommend turning off the active core. It will most likely lead to unpleasant consequences. It reminds me of old space stations that were used about 50 years ago for communication between planets. Besides, some components were produced at the BREATHEDGE Agency factories for sure. A simple replacement for a stool. If I were to design a trash can, everything would have fit in it. I have no idea how they got into the closed system of the aquarium, but there are no more fish here. These rooms look like someone's shelter, but it has had no occupants for a long time. A detailed plan of the habitation module. The cause of death was a blunt injury to the head about 30 years ago. The body mummified due to the sterility of the environment. One of the first prototypes of the BREATHEDGE Agency spacesuit without any artificial intelligence. Now this is something interesting. It's worth taking a closer look. We can assume that this station was some experiment of the BREATHEDGE Funeral Agency, but the lack of any information about it, as well as the dead crew member, can lead us to think this was probably illegal. On behalf of the funeral agency, I apologize for your possible complicity in the illegal activities of our company. Protection increase protocol activated. The threshold of radiation resistance has increased. So you're saying we could have done this from the start? A useless item. You could make a similar one. I will mark it. Cores of our company are a universal and powerful source of energy, which can significantly increase the chances of survival. The technology is patented, but it's not classified, so I can study it in detail to create our own energy cores. All these coffins belong to the batch from the year 2020. This was the golden age of the BREATHEDGE Funeral Agency, but it's unclear what these old coffins are doing among this debris. So this is where they're buried. The posters of the BREATHEDGE company are always very life-affirming. A dead independent software developer. Do you know what independent development is? It's something stupid, like when two young fools take their dad's computer and try to make a game about space chickens. Wait a minute. After looking through the technical support application statistics, the agency decided to deal with the linearity of jokes in their spacesuits. Now you can always choose Joke 1 or Joke 2 if you buy a special BREATHEDGE 2-button gamepad.
A space shuttle got stuck in this blob of cooling gel. I think we found the perfect specimen to launch into the core. I was hoping to see a standard pleasure shuttle, but this is an old design cargo ship. You can still occasionally find such ships on distant planets. They work on biofuel, and there's no way they were on the liner. Robotics wasn't so popular at the time when such ships were produced. The engines look intact. External control system. Only old ships have these. I can hack it in a split second. A fuel tank, with no fuel inside. To start the engines, you have to find some fuel, fill the tank, and hack the control system of the ship. This technology is outdated, so it's highly improbable that this debris belongs to the liner. Winter is coming. Something is stuck in the cooling gel, or someone. In any case, it's impossible to break it. I wouldn't touch it without having a degree in engineering. If I were you, I wouldn't touch anything, even myself. I think you're almost there. You can probably ignore the cooling gel's slight course deviation and assume that the core's activity is partially reduced. Quod erat demonstrandum. Seems that you still made the engine run, though this has complicated the identification of the deceased slightly. The core is temporarily deactivated. The core is temporarily deactivated. The core is temporarily deactivated. This is a photo of the young founders of the BREATHEDGE Agency, the founder of the agency and the leading designer together at a conference in 2017. There's no such design in my catalogs. There's a turret. Be careful. That's a familiar way of repairing things. Did you study the same manual as well? His mistake was that he didn't know the principles of electrical conductivity. However, it's a good idea to pour some melted metal on the handy scrapper. It's unlikely that it will fly with a broken engine, but the design of the steering wheel is quite interesting. I hope this underwear doesn't belong to him, although I still wouldn't touch it. Turret nearby. Only the main weapon of the liner, Knight Errant, could have made such holes. If it's still functioning, I really hope that Knight Errant will not react to an object as small as your body. What a strange place, but maybe we can find something useful here. It's worth noting, the robot gatekeepers can't be in the service, and therefore their involvement in the ranks of the armed forces is extremely improbable. Looks like some alcohol got spilled over its circuits in the crash. Turret nearby. The service post. About 2 meters of high-strength alloy and no breaches in the security system. The object is classified, but I managed to download some information from the captain's bridge. You can remotely access the liner's core from here. This would be extremely useful. However, it is impossible to get inside unless you have an anti-armor weapon. Turret detected.
This is working autonomous oxygen station.
This is Knight Errant, the main weapon of the liner unnamed. It was meant to be used only in cases of emergency when the liner was a turret detected. It looks like Knight Errant's manual control panel. It's used in case of remote control system failure. Getting here from inside the liner was impossible, therefore it wasn't fortified much. There are no data about the discharge cells or any modern particle beam weapon in general, but the latest issues of this magazine were uploaded to my database for speaking with teenagers, but unfortunately, I accidentally erased them forever. If the gun doesn't work, it doesn't mean you can poke your head right into its barrel. Although, apparently, these are the discharge cells. It's unlikely got one. Turret detected. Second discharge cell installed. I hope it doesn't start firing right away once you fixed it. Only one left. And we're done. I might be wrong, but is Knight Errant preparing to shoot? No, it's not. But I'm starting to understand why you repaired this weapon. I'd like to warn you that shooting from it is pure madness, therefore I strongly recommend not to come near Knight Errant's manual control panel, take the joystick in your hand, direct the weapon into debris, and press the fire button. Knight Errant is in running order. Yes, I had exactly the same idea. Knight Errant must break through the airlock's armor, damaging the latching mechanism. Try aiming and shooting at the lower latch so as not to damage the module. Seems like you only have one shot before the weapon's batteries go completely flat. Fire! I'm not sure this is a good time to comment, but the shot didn't go well. Although you did damage the armor for sure, together with half the equipment. Turret signal. Be careful. turret nearby. An armored airlock with complex entry control system. The system was so complex that it was the first one to fail. However, this doesn't prevent the door from remaining armored. We won't find any other way into the module anyway. With such damage, we won't be able to control the core remotely, but we can use the core protection protocol and open additional cooling valves in the liner. For that, find the central panel and try to guess the 9-digit password. Most likely, the passenger died because of a harmless toy that clogged the air outflow. Sometimes a dust collector is still worth cleaning, although this leads to interesting design solutions. A detailed plan of the service module. This fake console, assembled literally from different pieces of trash, refutes the statements of its manufacturers about the impossibility of repairing their device by rule of thumb due to its incredible complexity. Automatic maintenance team. I wouldn't touch them unless necessary. The door is being repaired faster than your attempts to break it. We need to get rid of the maintenance team somehow. This must be the central panel. On the first try. That was easy.
You unable to lie. You could not just do something and not break something. Tell truth. Confirm.
I suspect that the panel is a bit out of order, but judging by the sensors, an undocumented passage was hidden under it. Someone liked to break lamps, because it doesn't look a bit like repair work. There's no information about these rooms. Something happened here, although you've probably already noticed it. It's definitely one of looks like you're not the only one who's fond of destroying important equipment. Now I can't even connect to this panel. What's left now is to break the rest of the stuff around here, and there's a chance that this will activate some core protection. Or alternatively, kill someone in this room. The cause of death is a blunt injury to the head. The remains of a military blaster. Civilians don't have access to such technologies. If you try to assemble such a weapon, I will be forced to send a report to proper authorities through the damaged communication channel in pursuit. Activity detected. It looks like you were able to start the protection protocol, although the ship's documentation says it's only possible during a natural disaster. You've got talent. So it's not the size that makes the liner unnamed unique, but its latest energy core. Maybe that's what drew the attention of the Green Universe radicals? We'd better forget this classified information.